Hey everybody, Merry Christmas week from me, Dr. Mark, from the Healing Touch family, from our individual families. I wanted to pop on today because for the last couple of weeks, and I imagine for the next couple weeks to follow, all of our talk will be around Christmas, right? And so I'm reminded, especially because there's kiddos in our lives now, like in our home. My son, obviously, he's going to be 3 next week, actually. He's still singing Christmas songs, right? He doesn't know that Christmas is done. And as adults, we sometimes forget that time isn't necessarily linear. We think of like Christmas as this one thing. We've got December 25th, when in reality, Christmas is a whole season, right? It's a season of promise and faith and love and hope. And I really was just thinking today, as people are kind of getting back to their groove, but not really, because some families are still celebrating next week. Some families have altered plans for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and it really made me think about how getting on the table for the chiropractic adjustment is very similar. It is not just this one thing that we do. There's a saying that 1 plus 1 equals 11 when that one thing is chiropractic. When we add that to the mix, the whole game changes. And so maybe this is a roundabout thought, but it really made me think about how sometimes I myself am guilty of this. Like, for example, had a little bit of a stinging headache yesterday, and my first thought was like, ooh, I better pound some water. I'm always a good water drinker, so that was just default where my head went. But like, hey, Mark, I was up later, over the weekend than I normally am. Navigating different schedules because we were traveling, and I ate like junk, everybody. Like, I mean, like more sugar than one person I'll fess up. More sugar than any person needs probably for several weeks, and I consumed it in a couple of days. And so follow up with Dr. Tiff's last live. If you didn't catch it, it's awesome, talking about all the different ways that our body blesses us and things that we should look for to be grateful. But I wanted to follow up also with 3 tangibles, especially as we're still navigating this season. Okay, first of all, 3 S's that we're going to talk about. Stress, especially this time, especially in the Midwest. I feel like we pander for the sake of traditions, for the sake of this is what grandma wants me to do, for the sake of whatever. And so we're making choices that don't necessarily empower us, but instead leave us feeling obligated and into victimhood, maybe. So if you know that your great uncle is going to bring up a conversation that you don't want to navigate, one, heal your crap, work on that. But maybe you don't talk with the great uncle, or if you know that this New Year's Eve party, you're going to be tempted to overindulge when you're trying to abstain. Maybe make different plans or look at different options. Okay, stress that I want to talk about is self-induced stress, the choices that we can make. Number 2, sleep. Sleep is wicked important because it is then that our body is remodeling and rebuilding from all of the destruction that we do during the day. So stay on your, if it's all possible, of course it's always possible, it's a choice. But your normal sleep schedule, stick to it. Or if your normal sleep schedule sucks too, my best advice, 9 to 5. Okay? 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's what I shoot for. And then the third thing is the sweets. We actually just had a post on this on our Facebook page last week about all the different things that sugar contributes to, like dental problems, oxidative stress, inflammation, both of which have been linked to cancer. Like sugar does a lot of different things to our bodies, but I really also wanted to talk about the counter piece of that, which is like regular iodized table salt, because 70% of our American diet, um, the the salt that we're getting comes in the forms of like chips, crackers, canned foods, things like that, and iodized salt is actually not awesome for us. So, salt, Himalayan, Celtic, something like that, yes, there are tons of trace minerals in there. Our bodies need those minerals, electrolytes, in order to properly regulate the flow of water and hydration in our bodies. So, when we're like the Morton's Salt Girl, not awesome, because they actually strip a lot of the minerals from that salt. And this is because back in like the early 1900s, they actually were noticing an uptick in goiters. And so they thought, oh, well, we're going to get ahead of this. So they started stripping the salt of a lot of the proper ratio of minerals, and then they put iodine back in, okay? But when they messed with that balance of minerals, it actually did us a huge disservice. And so, like I said, like chips, like anything you can like Doritos, that is not good salt. If you're going to be adding salt to your food, which you should because salt is important, I should do a Facebook Live about that. That's not the point of this salt. The third S that I wanted to talk about: stress, sleep, sweets, and salts. And really, I'm talking about watch your choices with your foods, okay? So during the Christmas season, during the season of prioritizing your health and your vitality, especially, like, watch those three things. Get your butt adjusted on the table. Have a rockin' week, and leading up to the new year, right? Okay, until next time.